Unlimited Possibilities presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, four-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Sabrina Seymore. Sabrina roots as a businesswoman were planted in 2011 when she founded Sabrina Seymore Events, SSE. SSE has also expanded its brand by extending the coordination of weddings and events beyond North Carolina and the D.C., Maryland, Virginia areas to New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Georgia, Miami, Los Angeles, Jamaica, Mexico, Aruba, Dominican Republic, and Greece. Over the years, Sabrina has served as a keynote speaker, session leader, or panelist for various conferences and workshops. Topics she discussed include fundamentals and best practices of business ownership, planning destination travel, self-help, and women-centered discussions. Sabrina obtained a Bachelor's of Science degree in Recreation Administration from North Carolina Central University and a Master's of Arts in Marriage and Family Therapy from Liberty University. In spring 2017, Sabrina launched the Prevailing Woman print and digital magazine, which is a publication that promotes the professional and personal achievements of women on both national and global platforms. She has featured Gabby Douglas, Sherry Shepard, Colleen O'Brien, Judge Faith Jenkins, Kevin Lindsay, Angela Yai, Tasha Smith, and so many more amazing ladies. She is a fall 2006 initiate of the Alpha Lambda chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Sabrina now resides in Durham with her husband, Yvonne Sr., and their two sons, Yvonne Jr. and Bryce. Welcome to the table, the amazing Sabrina Seymore.
Hi, thank you for having me, Ashley. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have you at the table today. I know you're going to share some amazing wisdom and knowledge with my listeners, and I know they've heard your amazing bio. So would you please tell us more about your entrepreneur journey?
Yeah, so, like you said, my journey started in about 2011 when I founded Sabrina Seymore Events. It was not anything, I never knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I had a goal of being a social worker, and that is exactly what I was. But in college, I was kind of like that go-to, person. Hey, where's this party? Can you plan this party? Can you be the social chair of this and that? And so because of that, my line sisters started getting married, and one of them asked me, could I help her plan her wedding? Okay, great. I just helped out, and I did such a good job that it was planted, like, maybe you should start a business. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll do it on the side. Well, the calls kept coming, and they kept coming, and they kept coming, and it just got to be so much that I had to pick whether or not I go into my business full-time or still work my job because they were interfering with each other. So that's kind of how I kind of got into it. It wasn't anything like I knew I wanted to do all my life. I kind of got pushed into it because I just naturally was good at it. And then kind of going into the Prevailing Woman, I always knew that I wanted to have some kind of brand that catered to women, but I didn't know exactly how to go about it. So I love the idea of having something tangible, a takeaway. So that's where the magazine came into play. But then I was like, the only way that I'm going to really be able to grow the publication is if I have something that allows them to buy in. And so why not use my expertise as an event planner to plan over-the-top events for women that allows them to become familiar with the brand and want to, continuously get more and receive more. So that's pretty much how everything kind of came to fruition as it relates to, my entrepreneurial journey.
I love it. So you kind of, you did the line sisters wedding, and it just kind of went from there, right?
Basically, yeah.
So tell us more about Sabrina Seymore events, about your business and how listeners can purchase your services if they, are looking to, have some of your services and the different ones that you offer, because I know you do weddings as well and a lot more other things, correct, under your, under Sabrina Seymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, we're just to kind of any social media network and even online, just as Sabrina Seymore event. So everything is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, World Wide Web, everything is Sabrina Seymore event. I offer 3 different wedding planning services. So either it's like full service, partial service, or day of coordination. And then we also do like event planning. So my event planning, I really only do event planning from a full service standpoint, because it's kind of difficult to come. You can kind of come in on a wedding and just provide them coordination, and that's even still hard. But it's even harder on a special event. And typically people want more. They want you to kind of plan it for them. So then we just kind of provide full service event planning services as well. So we've done everything from campaign launches to launch parties. We're in the middle of planning a team conference right now. We've done corporate events. I mean, you name it. We've done bridal showers, baby showers. The list goes on and on. So there's no event too big or too small, that we can't take on. It just has to just make sure that, it fits in the parameters for, the services that we're going to provide and kind of what your expectations are going to be as well.
Love it, love it. For our listeners that are listening, Sabrina is definitely somebody to know and is doing some amazing things. So you need any of these services, definitely reach out to her. And so I know it's probably some listeners that are listening, Sabrina, that probably, might aspire to go into event planning. So what are some strategies you would give that person that's looking to start their own event planning business?
So for one, so it's so different. When I started, 8 years ago, social media was not where it is now. So I feel like people have they're at better advantage. So if I kind of had to give my level of advice, is first just make sure this is something that you really want to commit to, because it's definitely a commitment. I mean, I'll use my day today as an example. I still was able to get up and go to the gym and do what I had to do, but I had to, have a meeting in Durham. Then I had to jet to Raleigh, like North Raleigh, for a meeting there, and then I had to go to Rocky Mount. And I'm just now getting back, and then now tomorrow I have to get up and be in Charlotte. And then I have to be back Saturday early because my children have football games. So, it's a lot of, it just depends on kind of how far you want to take your business. But just know that it is more of a passion than a job, I guess you can say, because there's going to be a whole lot that you're going to do that is outside of the scope of your services. As many times as you pound it into someone's head, in order to make someone's event successful, there's no 2 events that are alike. Everybody is completely different. So with that means that there will be some times that you have to make a lot of sacrifices in order to ensure that someone's event runs smoothly. So I always just tell people, really just make sure that this is something that you want, and definitely don't go into it right off top. Like, I'm going to go ahead and quit my job and start it, because it takes a while to build a reputable company, because you can post pretty pictures, but can you actually do the work, just as pretty? So I always just tell people, just make sure that you are, sure this is what, get your feet wet for at least a year or 2, maybe even 3, because, again, it takes some time to just build this kind of business. And then from there, start making more conscious decisions on as it relates to how in depth you want everything to go. So that would be my advice. I think any other advice is pretty straightforward. branding, create social medias and LLCs. Like, we know all of that. But I'm talking about more so the time and the emotions it goes into running this kind of business. You really have to make sure this is something that you're passionate about.
I love that. And like you said, a lot of people can post pretty pictures, right? Then we have social media now, but we got to make sure we can actually do the work, right? And the pictures actually, that the work that you're doing is actually going to look like the picture. So that was definitely key there. So I like that you said that, because a lot of people post a lot of things, but we got to make sure we can deliver on it too. So
exactly.
And it was passion.
Exactly.
Yes. So what are some of the benefits that you think or if, people should hire an event planner? Because, I mean, sometimes people think, maybe they can do it themselves, right? And it might save them a whole lot of money, but sometimes it's better to hire an event planner to get to the vision that you're looking to do, right? And it actually might save you less money, and then you're doing it by yourself depending on what you got have going on. So what are some of the benefits of hiring an event planner?
So I would definitely say the stress.
Yeah.
Definitely the stress. Definitely the opportunity to really scout out quality vendors. Because typically an event planner is going to know who to work with and who not to work with. And then I don't want to say that they're going to help you save money, but they will help you spend your money wisely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I get a lot of times people contact me like, I heard event planner is supposed to help me save money. I'm like, no, I can't help you save money, but what I can do is make sure you're spending your money on the right things. So that, when it comes down to the month before the wedding and all those small things you have to buy, you have the money to pay for it, And so those are going to be my top things. Definitely the stress. Planning an event in general is stressful, but I think that there are certain things that can be done in order to kind of help alleviate some of that stress. And then, again, scouting out the quality vendors, and last but not least, like I said, helping you spend your money wisely.
I love that. Stress, that's key, and scouting out those quality vendors. You're right, because a lot of people do say, I've heard that too, I'm going to hire an event planner so I can save money. I have heard that. So, like you said, it's all about spending it wisely and making sure that we're spending it on the right things and just getting that direction when it comes to that. So I like
exactly.
I pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, you built your brand from ground up, and you, like you said, you didn't have social media, but now that you do have social media, how do you use it a lot for your event planning and attracting clients? How do you utilize it now? Because I know you started.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you kind of have to. You have to. Mm-hmm. You have to move with the times.
Mm-hmm.
If the customer is looking on social media for a planner, well, then I got to be on there,
Right.
And it's not a problem for me. I'm a millennial, so, it's not a huge issue for me, but it is definitely, it's been very beneficial. I think that when I got to about year 4.5, 5, that's when my business just took off. So I know that social media played a role in that. So I mean, it's not a problem on my end, basically.
Awesome. And then you went on to launch the Prevailing Woman magazine, print and digital. So tell us more about your magazine and how we can support and purchase it.
Yeah, so, like I said, just to kind of get the tactical things out of the way, Prevailing Woman, social media, Google, Instagram, Twitter, all those things is where you can find it. You can order the magazines. You can even order the previous magazines, only the digital version, so you can do that as well online on our website. But however, so the Prevailing Woman is a multi-generational media outlet. So we feature women from all walks like different walks of life. So whether they be, a stay-at-home mom, somebody who is an entrepreneur, someone who works in a corporate office, a political person. The list goes on and on and on and on. Those are the type of women that we feature. I like to have, like, tangible people, like people that you can actually, like, reach out, touch, talk to. And then, of course, the magazine will continuously build up. So we'll have someone who's just starting out in their career. We'll have someone who's more on an executive level. Then we'll kind of have that other person who is like a community leader. And then, of course, we'll go into the celebrity, and then we'll have kind of like that celebrity that is on the cover. That will be the person that if you pick up the magazine, you know who they are. And so that's pretty much the basis of it. And then, again, like I say, we have the different events. We have 2 staple events. That's the conference, and then we have the Beatless Meetup tours, where we go to about 10 different cities and do like some self-care activities with women in the city. But essentially, that's kind of where our brand is going. And we do have a few other exciting projects that we're trying to, close out before the end of the year. But essentially, those are the main things that the Prevailing Woman does and what they offer to women in the community.
So if women that are listening, if they wanted to be featured in your magazine or, collaborate with you, do you have a form they can fill out, or is there certain, I know the people that you feature, but is there any other process that they have to go through in order to be selected to be in the magazine?
So I know that this is just what it is, but I hate when people think that they have to be, like, selected, because there is nobody that's ever – so there is a form. There's a form that you have to fill out on the website. But, yes, there is a quote-unquote selection process, just like in order of that the inquiries are received. But there is no story that I feel like is not worthy of being in our publication. Now, we have had some that were just crazy, and, clearly. But for the most part, there has not been anyone that we've had to turn down. We're a newer publication, so we're not getting 1,000 hits a day of people wanting to be a part. So, when that day comes, we probably will get there. And I hope to not get that in-depth with it. I want this to be a space where people feel welcome and it's not super exclusive, but I do want it to be a sense of suspense and to be honorable as well. But essentially, there's a form on the website. I can't remember what the name of the button says, but it's on the website. You just click it on there. I think it says submit a story. And you just click on there, you fill out the form, and then it comes directly to our team, and we take a look through them. Sometimes if we don't have room in the magazine, we'll put people on the blog.
So for our listeners that are listening, definitely reach out if you're interested in being in the magazine. Shoot your shot and see what happens. And you do blogs, and they can blog, or she has a process, but it does not mean, like she said, everybody's story is worthy for the most part. So definitely reach out if you would like to be a part of this amazing magazine. And like I said, Sabrina, you're doing some amazing things in the community with your conference as well. So could you talk more about your conference? It was another successful year for your conference, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was definitely a successful weekend. It was over a course of 3 days. We started the weekend off with a kickoff party sponsored by Cavassier. That was great, just to see all of the speakers and the attendees and just other people who just wanted to come to the party, just kind of interact and just be together. And then, on Saturday and Sunday, we had all of the workshops and the programming throughout the day. And we had about 250 ladies that came out throughout the weekend. We had vendors, and then, there was a movie screening. She did that as a film. We played that movie during the conference, and that went over really, really, really well. So it was great. I mean, I'm honestly still kind of on a conference high, which says a lot. And I've even still been getting messages from people. But essentially, it is that's one of our staple events that we do here in Durham, North Carolina.
So definitely be looking out for the Prevailing Woman Conference. Do you have the date for next year, Sabrina, yet or no?
Not quite yet, but if I had to give a slight estimate, I would say that it would probably be the same weekend. So basically the second weekend of August. I think that is going to be our staple weekend. But please pencil that in. Do not pin that in. But right now we're looking at the second weekend of August of 2020, and to be consistently that same weekend every year.
So everybody that's listening, definitely be looking out for the Prevailing Woman Conference. Like she said, don't pencil it in, but it's probably going to be around that time next year. So that's definitely a conference that you want to be at. Sabrina is definitely somebody you want to know and want to connect with. So reach out and support her events that she has going on. She has an amazing brand, definitely for women. So would you tell us more about how you created your seat at the table, Sabrina? I know you're building multiple tables, but I always ask my guests, how did you create your seat at the table?
Honestly, I just really kind of showed up. I showed up, and I did the work. Like, literally, when people say, it used to irk my nerves when people be like, just do the work, and the opportunities will come. And I used to be like, yeah, but I'm working, and nothing's happening. And so now I feel like I'm getting into that kind of pivotal year. And so now the work is being, like, the fruits of my labor are coming to, what's the term? Your fruits of your labor is coming
to fruition. Yeah, to pass.
That, yes. So I am, and it's simply because I just have been literally working hard. I haven't asked anyone. I haven't done anything crazy. I literally have just been working. And it's like the opportunities are crazy. Like, I have some crazy opportunities on the table right now that I never would have imagined happen. And I didn't even ask about them. But they approached me, and they simply just saw something in me. That's all. They noticed my work habits. They noticed. So basically, another kind of cliche term, you never know who's watching you. It is the truth. It is the absolute truth, because I did business with them that had nothing to do with some of the things that they're asking for, but they were just so impressed about what I did for another event or for something else that they felt like I would be a good fit for something else as well. And these are people that I didn't even think had that kind of power, but they do. So,
Wow.
So then another term, be careful how you treat people, because you don't know who they are and what kind of power they have, because not everybody posts everything they do.
That's right.
That's right. And so for me, I think that I just always showed up and took every project and every opportunity extremely serious, and put my best foot forward, and that has truly allowed me to continue to progress and move forward. Now, I'm not going to say I think maybe saying it always might be a reach, but more so, I did it. I did it clearly at the right time. I didn't go in there with the purpose of it, because I had fallen short, but I was still intentional about it. I was, apologetic about it and fixed it and did what I needed to do, because we're human, But essentially, for the most part, I am known for my work ethic, for being a hard worker, and for getting the job done. And so I think that truly has allowed me to earn my seat at the table because, again, I didn't ask. I didn't go into any rooms asking, can I be here? I was invited because they felt as if that I was worthy enough to be there. So the term doing the work is probably extreme. To me, it used to drive me insane. Like, I hated it. I was like, oh, my God, one more person says that. Like, is that the word of 2019? Like, what in the world? But now I am seeing how crazy it is when you just show up and go to work. Like, the things that will happen for you. So, I mean, that is, honestly, that's how I earn my seat at the table. It sounds simple, but it's really not, because it's a lot of people that show up and don't do what they're supposed to do.
That's true. That's true. I love that. And the fact that you did the work and people asking you to come to their tables, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Because a lot of people win and not do the work. You can't win and not do the work. You got to do the work.
Exactly.
So I love that, and I consistently follow you too. You know, and I see all the great things that you're doing, and you do the work. You're not just talking. You're doing it. So I want to super congrats you on everything that you're doing, all the great things that you're doing. I can't wait to see all the things that you haven't discussed on the interview tonight that's about to happen for the rest of 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
So we all have a process. Right, on our journey, and we know pain is a part of it, right? It's necessary. So, what did failure teach you on your journey?
It definitely taught me that you are going to experience it. There's honestly really nothing you can do about it, and that you need to take it as a learning opportunity versus it being a hindrance. And don't beat yourself up about it. Do I think you should give yourself 24 hours to mope and be mad? Yes. Because if everybody walks through life like a zombie, like nothing bothered them, there's really something bothering you. And when that day happens, you're going to crash because you have had all these emotions bottled up. But essentially, I literally, like, you know, like as a child, you know, our parents would tell us, don't touch the hot stove, don't touch the hot stove. Well, we wanted to be curious and still touch the hot stove, and then we got burnt. So now we know never to touch it again and to try to stay away from it. So it's kind of like you have to experience these things, because as much as someone will tell you it's not going to work, it may not be that bad, but you don't know until you try, or you're going to fail and you have to fix it. So, you know, when you touch the hot stove, you burn your hand, you put the ointment on it, it heals, it moves forward, you all heal, you look good, and life goes on, you know. But in the moment, you're going to go through, you know, the scarring, the ugly phase of it. So you have to just embrace it. You have to nurture it until it gets better, until you're healed, and then you can move forward. And it's the same thing with failures, you know. Anytime I've ever done something that was wrong, or I didn't succeed, or whatever the case may be, I focused on it. I figured out what the root of the issue, what I did wrong, how can I fix it, you know, try to make whomever I made upset happy again. Maybe they won't be happy again, but I had to move forward, you know. And so I think that's pretty much kind of how I've faced every ugly situation, being upset initially, but eventually kind of dusting myself off and kind of moving forward with it, because if I basked in it as long as my mind probably was trying to tell me to do, who knows what other opportunities I would have missed out on, because I was sitting at home pouting for, 6 months.
Right.
So
right.
yeah.
So you dust yourself off and kept going. I love that. But what did success teach you? Because you're very successful. So what did success teach you on your journey?
That is not permanent. The same way, as quick as you can become successful, is just as quick that you can face failures and disappointments. And so I think it's always one of those things to definitely be happy and be in the moment, but don't get caught slipping, because there has literally been an 8 a.m. call that blew my mind, and by 6 p.m. I'm right back like, what? You know? So it's just like one of those things you just truly have to just always have your eyes open, and just know, like, it's always great to celebrate and to be in the moment, but you also want to just be mindful that, yes, you may have succeeded at that one thing, but that doesn't mean that you need to stop. Like, you have to keep going, you know, in order to continue to have these successes and to also remain successful in whatever it is that you're doing. So I always tell people, like, yeah, have fun, you know, even if it's for like the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. But be thinking about what's next after this, because this is going to end. Sooner than later, it's going to end. It may not end until 5 years from now, but you still want to be prepared.
Yes, and always staying humble. That's key. I love how you said that. Staying, you know, pretty much staying humble at the end of the day.
Yep.
So what can we expect from you? What can we expect from you the rest of 2019? It's quarter 3. We're getting ready to go into quarter 4. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
Yeah. So, you know, definitely still weddings and things of that nature. And, you know, a few other special events. As it relates to Sabrina Seymore events, as it relates to the Prevailing Woman, we do have like a very short kind of docu-series that we're working on that is going to showcase women around pretty much the world that are just going through things. And when I say going through things, like relatable things. So our first interviewee, she has kidney failure. She's a single mom. So, you know, kidney failure, you 100% go out on disability. So because of that, you know, it's been hard. It's been a really rough last 5 years for her, and she still has yet to find a match for a kidney. And she's only like 36 years old, you know, looks just like us. And so these are the kind of stories that we're going to be sharing. And so each video will probably be anywhere from like 7 to 10 minutes, just of them just talking, you know, what it is they're going through. So they're feel-good stories. And so we want to have kind of like a series of, you know, anywhere from like, you know, 10 to 12 interviewees, and actually create it into like a short kind of documentary. But we're just going to roll them out individually at first, and just kind of see how things go. But our first one should be coming out within the next week or two, hopefully. And then during the holidays, we always do the Prevailing Woman Give campaign, and that's when women can donate their services and or products or just money, and we just give it back to women in the community in need. So we gave, like last year, we gave away about $10,000 worth of services and money. So we gave away clothes, you know, car cleaning, oil changes. I mean, you name it. There were like really good things. People got their air conditioning checked for free, moving services, nails, blowout. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So we gave out so many great things last year. And so we hope to up it some more this year as well. So those are pretty much the two biggest things that we kind of have working on for the rest of the year, because we'll go into 2020 next year back into our Beatless Meetups tours again.
I love it. Well, super congratulations on all the amazing things you have going on. I can't wait to see the docuseries, though. I can't wait over the next couple of weeks. So for our listeners that are listening, you are welcome. Definitely follow her right now and, you know, get involved with all the great things that Sabrina has going on. So would you tell our listeners one more time, I know you've announced it twice, but one more time how they can follow you on all social media platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the easiest ways is just to follow me, Sabrina Seymore, and then you can look in my bio, and it has the link for Sabrina Seymore events and for The Prevailing Woman. So you can either just go to Sabrina Seymore, follow me, then look at my bio, and follow The Prevailing Woman and Sabrina Seymore events. Or, of course, you can just look up The Prevailing Woman or Sabrina Seymore events and follow the business pages as well.
So follow her on all social media platforms and support her. Like I said, she's somebody to know and somebody to be connected with. And Sabrina, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule to come to the table, and I can't wait to invite you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for creating these opportunities for people to come and kind of talk and share their stories, too.
You are welcome, love, and I love your story, love your journey that you're on, and you definitely have been an inspiration, of course, to watch, right? And like you said before, and I've said as well, you do the work. So for every listener that is listening, please connect with her and get involved. And thank you again, Sabrina.
Thank you.
So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University and my intern Tahira from Bowie State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.